And I swear to God, if it goes back to frames dropping, I'm gonna unalive myself. And for everybody who's curious, I am joking. Please don't send, like, welfare checks on me. Okay, I think it works now. Now I need people on... Daisy, just say something random. Okay, just checking to make sure that they can hear you too.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's all good now.
So, when Hannah gets back, we will
We can
jump
get
into it then.
started.
Let me see.
No announcements tonight other than don't be an asshole. And we're good.
It's just good. That's just good life mantra.
Yeah.
Really.
It's really just good life mantra. I don't need my D&D Beyond extension on right now because it's not a campaign. Okay, I think we got it fixed. Ah!
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I guess at any point, I apologize for my fan. For whatever reason, the past couple weeks when the evening hits me, I'm just so tired. I am so tired.
You're good.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, I usually
And
start to crash
so I've been
around 9
parking my
o'clock.
fan in my face as stimulus. And on my end, when I listen back to myself, it doesn't seem so bad. But I recently watched an Outer Rim Misfits VOD, and when I have the voice changer turned on, all you can hear is my fan.
Dude, the fucking
Oh,
voice
no.
changer is so sensitive.
I wouldn't know I got Mac.
Yeah.
Which they say they're going to make a Mac version. And I'm like, okay, where is it?
Where is it, though?
Where is it?
Voice
Where
mod
are
went-
you?
I want to say it was like 20. Yeah, it was like the summer of 2019 to that winter before. Like it was that span with absolutely no updates for voice mod. They just left it, didn't tweet about it, nothing.
Okay, now Chrome's not
But anyhow.
working for me. What the fuck? My computer's just on strike. I don't need Google Chrome, though. I'm good.
Nobody needs Google Chrome.
Nobody needs Google. Don't use Google Chrome. It's a trap, you guys.
Don't use Google Chrome. I say as I have, hold on, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Chrome tabs open.
Oh my god. Okay, now it's working for me. Remember, Google is owned by Microsoft, right? Which is owned by Bill Gates.
Yeah, it's the Gates.
Oh my god, Bill Gates, can you make your fucking website work?
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
So, if everyone is settled in and ready, both physically, emotionally, spiritually, and extrasensory. That's right, I'm going to be beaming you clues telepathically. I hope you got that memo.
Okay.
Good to know.
Try my best.
This is going to be like a sort of cold open, I guess, this week, because I do not have Kevin Conroy this week.
It's fine.
It would have been absolutely cruel and somewhat hilarious if like only one person was able to make it and I just played Kevin Conroy for them and then went to bed.
That's it.
Oh,
That's the
goodness.
one shot. It's just Kevin Conroy.
That's it.
That's it.
All done.
That's it. It's just Batman.
It's just Batman.
Just Batman.
Batman.
I'm Batman.
So last week there was a lot of, well, I can't say discussion because it was me just talking into the void, but the subject of the night was what exactly are common people like what are they expected of? Once upon a time, the common person would have helped out their neighbors, you know, the whole running into the burning building thing to save the little girl. But is that really what people are expected to do anymore in a world where someone can just fly into the building and is completely immune to the fire? It is no risk to them to do this. In fact, in some cases, it is their job. So what are the populace at large really expected of? At what point do you draw the line and say, okay, if you didn't do this, you're officially now a bad person? There is another side to this coin. It is your side to this coin as people who are special, as people who have great talents and great gifts. What is expected of you, really? I mean, just because you have these amazing things, are you just obligated to use them at all, period? Not even talking about for wrong or for right. Yeah, it's your life. You are a person. Are you expected to give up college, give up a whole future, and just be floating around in space in spandex? Is that a fair assumption of you? But at the same time, if you don't, who will? It's a very awful balancing act, especially considering there are so few people like you, that people like you are under the public eye constantly. And oh my gosh, do the public have opinions, especially when it comes to how other people should live their lives.
Especially when it comes to social media.
Yes, oh my god, Twitter in this universe.
Oh god.
Batman has been canceled twice on Twitter.
God.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Seems legit.
So last week, we started our sort of session on the state of the art, quote unquote, state of the art. I want so many sets of quotations around that. Space station known as the Monolith was built a number of years ago. It is supposed to serve as a hub for global heroism. The
Piece of
monolith
shit.
is the monolith has been left not necessarily abandoned, but neglected for a very long time. Not only has the role of heroism boiled down to more of just like a moral thing, you know, the world isn't in dire need of you anymore. And so your existence has become political, essentially. What it is you are and are not allowed to do, and so on and so forth. Which is why it was very strange when the station seemed to rumble to life and the fire alarm began to go off. A friend of mine who watches the VODs afterwards came to me a couple days ago and was like, so the fire alarm was going off, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, so does the station have no water sprinklers? And I realized I probably should give it water sprinklers, but at the same time, if I
Are they really working?
If I did give the station water sprinklers so it was up to fire code, the very first time the alarm tripped, like literally would have started the session with the sprinklers going off and Abigail dying. So I've just decided to say, no, there are no sprinklers, so that at no point do we have to worry about Jason lighting a match and just killing Abigail.
Okay, but like... Okay, but... Would she actually die, or would she just like fizzle out and become normal?
I suppose you could say find out and get burned, and this is where the CSI Miami theme would go. I have on my soundboard, but I can literally mash my soundboard and it doesn't work anymore.
Oh.
So unfortunate because I have I got the guy who played Reaper in Overwatch to say "spread my cheeks." But anyway, the fire alarm had gone off, and people moved to the main room to figure out what was going on. The completely functional AI that is on the space station had rerouted an emergency message, and instead of playing it as a video, had set the fire alarm off, which, if you know computers, isn't actually possible, but shut up. The system was fixed, and a video call was opened with some general. He could have been from any country, really. No one asked. I believe his name was asked, but where he was actually from, no one. So he was a general. You caught him in the middle of saying, like, he was smoking this big cigar, and you caught him in the middle of saying that, gosh, he disliked you people. Gosh, he hated you. So things were off to a very great start.
Great.
He was very blunt and just came out and said, yeah, there was when your former head of affairs, essentially, your former leader, I guess you could say, retired. The file hit my desk to say that we were supposed to give you a tour and the rundown about how supervillain containment is being handled. And he said it's been sat there for about a month, and he just hasn't bothered. But now it's at the top of his pile, and he's going to get in trouble if he doesn't address it. So he called you up to say, hey, I'll forward you the location, set up a tour for you, legalities. You're going to have a official liaison with the UN assigned to you to handle anything political that goes on, which he was happy about. Everyone else was really happy because someone probably would have found him and killed him if you had to speak to him again. And then he hung up on Charlie. Charlie was in the middle of saying something to him. He just hung up. He was done. At that point, he couldn't get any legal trouble. He told you everything he needed to. He just hung up. There was a small packing montage. People got some things, made plans to get Cartwater hot dogs.
Dirty water hot dogs, man.
Before heading down to the hangar and experiencing the joys that were budget space travel. With the dock autopilot taking you down to Earth to the maximum security facility in the Teton Mountain Range in Wyoming.
To be very fucking specific.
To be very specific, the Teton Mountain Range in Wyoming. Atop the mountains, there are 3 facilities made of a horrid looking. Here in my notes it says I described it as baby barf color. Just this yucky light pale green with cell block A, B, and C. The landing was rough, but I guess luckily, the fire department that's kept on the base was nearby.
Bingo.
You were given your guide, who is the prison's warden. Their name was Crystal. They were an exceptionally large and buff woman. And they were better than the general, but still not great. Someone very clearly caught them trying to call you freaks. They led you into cell block A for your tour. You were shown just a couple of cells, a couple of no-name, like, boring villains were pointed out to you. Like last session, we canonized Sandpaper Man.
Yes, we did.
There was also a spooky cryopod hanging from one side of the room, and in the very center of the cell block Gax, the alien, was kept in a rubber cage. The warden brought you to the center cage where the alien was kept and proceeded to remark about how it's really funny poking him and tasing him. And you all asked then if you could have some sort of like manifesto, this sort of just pointing and going, yep, that's that guy and that's that guy, sort of wasn't enough information. She was very adamant that you stay right where you were. Like, do not move while she goes and fetches it. You decide to play ball and just stood exactly where you were. Well, she went off and got that. There was a small conversation with the alien contained nearby where he was very adamant that you should just turn on the humans right now. He is convinced that they will betray you. The general gist or answer to that conversation was like, maybe, but not right now.
We were about to learn our lesson right there.
Well,
Everything sort of went sideways immediately. It's almost as if it's some kind of written plot that played out before our very eyes.
Oh no!
What?
Everything immediately went sideways, and a prison break commenced with the front entrance being busted out by Lady Titanium in the most scuffed-looking mech suit. A sort of
packs a punch.
She could hurt. It's very good that she didn't ever get to use the flamethrower on any of the non-fire-based people. The combat was effective. Effective is the word I'm going to use. Everyone thought very, very logically and approached the situation with probably the necessary amount of prejudice when you see a hot water boiler wielding a flamethrower walk towards you. She was knocked prone twice, thrown about quite a lot, and when the riot was just like in full swing, like everyone was breaking out everywhere, the guards rolled really bad. Like I want to say they never exceeded a 10, so a lot of guards died. A number of prisoners escaped out the front and also into cell block B. Eventually, the joint use of Jason and Drew's powers brought Lady Titanium down by exploding the reserve tank for her flamethrower. As everything sort of sizzled out, came to a halt, your combat seemingly ended. There was quite the series of unfortunate events. Again, it's almost like this is some weird plot. A number of high-risk, let's say, villains escaped, with some poor unfortunate soul dying to let out frostbite. He shattered into a million pieces, as well as Drew made it very apparent that his villain was out and about, as she had appeared, assaulted him, and then disappeared again, as well as Frostbite using his very icy touch to crack the rubber that contained Gax, letting him out as well. Gax didn't seem to be wanting anything to do with the prison riot and sort of tossed Frostbite aside before marching for the door. People stood in his way, and so he picked up Jason and made to chokeslam him before making the remark to you all that he at least wanted a challenge. Observing your fight, he understood none of you were the worthy opponents he wanted, and so he'd let you off now, but sometime in the future, when he thought you were ready, he was going to let you have it. he made his way out the door. A guard was coming in the door at the same time and just decided to step aside and let him go. And that guard is the smartest guard in this prison and got to live. There was immediately a reinforcement of guardsmen who came in and were somewhat miffed with you, be it because of bias or whatever the reasons. They were not happy. They were like, nah, chain of command and legal proceedings. And the general response from the party was that everything just exploded. Screw your legal proceedings. One specific guard was persuaded to go and finally get you that manifesto, that list of names about who's contained here. He said he'd be a minute, and he left. Charlie decided she was going to count that minute.
Out of pure spite, she's counting every second.
Additionally, Abigail and Drew tried to go up into a different part of A to the hall that connects to B to discover B is just gone in its entirety, with a lot of the rubble having like rolled down the side of the mountain.
Smash.
However, cell block C is completely fine. Some people found that sort of suspicious and already began to make theories amongst one another as to what is going on at C. Everyone reconvened, shared their information. In probably that span of time, a minute has passed, but the guardman is not back. And so, yes, this is where we will pick up. Both Jason and Drew have made the decision that Charlie and Abigail are entirely capable of investigating cell block C, as the two of them were sort of responsible for nuking Lady Titanium, who you came to discover was a 73-year-old woman. They were going to stay with the medics and try to carve her out of whatever's left of her suit.
Grips.
That guard's still not back yet.
How long has it been?
Minute and 20 seconds. Minute and 25 seconds.
Okay. We should probably check out Cell C just to see what the hell is even in there.
Well, the two of them are sticking here. They can pick up the manifesto while we go investigate. Hey,
Something doesn't
don't
feel
die
right to
while
me.
we're gone. Charlie will call out to Jason and Drew.
Try not to die.
Try not to die. What were you saying?
I was saying. That's what I was saying. No. Something doesn't feel right to me.
Does any of this feel right at all?
That's fair.
I mean, we watched some of the biggest supervillains just walk out of here.
Yeah. I am majorly concerned.
I'm starting to wonder if this is all just a setup. I don't know, maybe Cthulhu Face had a point.
I was afraid to say that myself.
I mean, it can't be a coincidence that the government finally calls us down here to give us a tour of the facility on the same exact day that a prison riot and breakout happens. And wasn't that guard bitch like very adamant that we stood right where we were when she walked away? And that's right when this breakout started?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Oh, this is really bad. This is really bad. So, thank you, ominous sirens in the distance.
Gotta add to that method acting.
Honestly.
Yeah.
But this, I'm concerned because if this is indeed a setup, how are we going to take on all of those villains? It's already hard enough for me to deal with fucking frozen fingers.
I don't know. It's like they expect us to be exactly like the Vanguard from years ago. We're just a bunch of kids.
That's the thing, we're not them.
We're kids.
Well,
we were.
you're a kid.
You get my point. We were tossed up in a antiquated flying saucer in space with no instructions.
It was practically run down.
Held together by duct tape and false dreams. You're right, we should go check out Cell Block C. I gotta see if my bitch is still locked up or not.
Yeah. By the way, who is your bitch? And she's gonna start like walking.
She's that one girl who's like really obsessed with owls. Midnighter, I think her name is. Yeah, I mean, really careful.
God.
She's very stealthy.
Yeah, I think I've heard of her.
Very stealthy. That's how she gets the drop on her opponents, honestly. Element of surprise and all that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make our way to Cell Block C.
Yep.
You cross what I can only like call an open yard, basically just this massive slab of concrete that has been serving as a thoroughfare for the facility. It's a very like light snow falling. I did have someone yell at me. It's like there's constantly snow on the Teton Mountains. So there's snow, goddamn it. There are a lot of other response vehicles. I guess you could say there are helicopters and what have you coming in. Some of them are just very clearly marked military. Some of them do have the Red Cross on them as their medical support. You cross over to C, and it looks untouched, actually. The large metal door that I guess would have functioned as its main door is open, and there are a lot of guards stood around, and they don't seem to wholly acknowledge you approaching until you are right up on them. And one of the guards turns to the both of you. Are you looking to get in here or something?
We're trying to just take a general check to see if anyone may have escaped from the cell block, to see if there are any particular faces in here. We're just trying to figure out what the hell is going on here.
The couple of guards that are manning the door sort of look to one another before just shuffling out of the way.
Thank you. She'll move through.
That was easy.
Cell Block C is not like A. A sort of had all of the assorted cells shoved against the left wall. Was very, very open. Just so much open space. Almost a waste of space, really. There was so much of the building that there was just nothing being done with. C is not like that. C is 2 stories with cells on both the left and right side. On the first story, like wall-to-wall cells. And then up on the second story with a catwalk overhead, there are just more cells. In the very center of the block, however, there is this metal tube almost that runs from floor to ceiling and seems to have a number of prods that extend out from it that occasionally have little dark blue jolts of electricity that seem to jump out from it.
That's freaky.
Yeah. Why do you think that there's more cells in here than in cell block A? Think there are many like criminals here?
I don't know. I mean, Cell Block A was more open. This is more kind of confined, locked down. I don't know, maybe the worst people are in here.
Maybe.
Gotta keep it close.
But I don't know. They had Gax in cell block A.
Yeah, well, they don't know what Gax is.
An alien or something.
I don't know, maybe they weren't able to ascertain what kind of a threat he was.
Maybe.
Yeah, they had Frostbite in there too, and I would think he'd probably be in a cell block like this instead.
You'd think. But he's smart. And that's what scares me.
You'd think they'd actually just keep him in solitary confinement. I mean, he kind of
You
was
think?
hanging up in the ceiling, but he was still an open community. I don't know. I'm really concerned of what might be inside that tube, though.
Yeah.
Especially with those jolts of electricity popping out of it.
My guess is that it's for behavioral stuff. So like you lash out, you get shocked.
That's a Freudian slip if I ever saw one. I wasn't really good at psychology in college, so.
I never took psychology, so.
It was an entry-level freshman course. I had to do something. Okay. Maybe we should take a look around, make sure everyone's here.
Yeah.
I would like to take a look around.
Take a look-see.
Righty, can you roll a wit for me, please?
Wit. 13.
You start your look around.
10.
There is... What's the word I'm looking for? It's very strange. When you look into cells, there are just some very common looking people. They have no physical abnormalities. There seems to be no special containment procedure that would stop them from using any kind of power or anything like that. The guards as well seem to be much more relaxed. Specifically, Charlie would have remembered that when you were being brought in by your escort when you first arrived, the guards that opened the way into A for you very clearly had their firearms ready, as if for some reason they expected you to act up and they were ready to shoot you. These guards, however, physically acknowledge your presence and either nod or put two fingers to their forehead and salute and just go about what they were doing. There does seem to be a little bit of damage in here near the back where this cell block would have connected to B. There are clearly some guards who have broken out some spare tools and are trying to fix the entryway. It looks like to go from this section into B, there was a large mechanical door, which is squished inwards, and they have hammers and wrenches trying to beat it back into place.
Yeah.
It is worth noting that when within 50 feet or less of the electrical spire, you both feel a wave of nausea and sickness come over you.
Ugh.
Ah, that doesn't feel good.
I thought
Oh.
mint was bad. Hey, could somebody here explain to me what this doohickey does? Asking for a friend?
There was a guard who was like actively slacking off who comes over and he like takes off his helmet and removes earbuds from underneath the helmet. Then again, sorry, you needed something?
Yeah, what is the
What's this?
this torture device do?
Oh, that's the, well, we call it the super laser, but it has some fancy acronym for its actual name. Uh, Basically, some like French scientist invented it, and it, I don't know, puts things through the air, puts some sort of electric charge to the air that pierces tiny little invisible lasers through your body. It sounds super crazy, I know, but bear with me. And these lasers are supposed to target and destroy mutating cells, which for some people and not all people
Takes a step
disables their
away.
powers.
Yeah, Charlie will definitely take a step away from this thing. Good to know! Good to know that this thing is in here when you let 2 mutants in!
I mean, listen, all right? I am the lowest paying man on the payroll here. All right, it's
least
not
you
my
get-
fault. Someone else didn't tell you.
At least you get paid.
Do you not get paid
No, we
for
don't.
the stuff you do?
No.
That don't seem worth it. I'd quit.
Honestly, debating.
If it wasn't close to the end of the world now because of a massive breakout, I would consider it. No. So let me get this straight. This machine destroys mutating cells. So what? So are all the inmates in here potential mutants that you're trying to keep at bay?
Not potential, no. If we locked up anyone we suspected of being a dangerous mutant, we would get in a lot of trouble. Violent mutant offenders are kept in here. People who can like grow claws and can see like people's like heat signatures, and the violent ones are kept in here.
The violent criminal ones?
Well, yeah. Obviously, you know, if some mutant was in his house, like hitting his dog or something, we didn't bust in the door.
Do you know about anything that happened to Cell Block B?
I don't know much. All I know is I was stood over by the door when there was this horrible crunching sound. The doorway 2B caved in.
And who is kept here in this cell block?
Well, like I said, just, you know, violent mutants.
You don't have any specific names you can give to us? Any
I
persons
really
of
haven't much
reasonable-
bothered to learn any of their names. Prolonged exposure to the super laser, I've been told, is unpleasant, and so they don't really have much nice to say to us. They aren't very conversational.
Yeah, no shit. My own stomach is turning right now.
Yeah.
Do I see anyone I recognize in this cell block?
Roll wit again.
Not bad. 16.
16. You do see one person that you know of because they made news. Oh my god, did they make news? There is appears to be a very tall and unnaturally slender elderly man stood in one of the first floor cells. He has very short gray hair and these comically large round spectacles. And again, he is uncharacteristically thin. You can see his ribs through his yellow jumpsuit. He made such a splash in the media because he was a scientist and he purposefully mutated himself to protest chemicals the company he was working for was dumping in the ocean. And whatever he did to himself, he made it so that if he touches you, you really just die. You go into like immediate cardiac arrest. Autopsies have revealed like necrosis of vital organs.
Do I remember his
That's
name?
fun.
His name is Anthony Beckett. He has no supervillain name because he was in the news once. He was arrested and just sort of forgot about. Villains that don't name themselves are typically named by the media, and the media only cares to name villains when they're killing people every other week.
Ah, that's a familiar face.
Who'd you find?
Anthony Beckett's over in that cell. The creepy doctor guy who mutated himself as a form of protest.
Oh,
Now kills
yeah.
everyone he touches.
Ugh.
Why do I get the feeling he might know something? I don't know.
It's a possibility.
I'm gonna go have a chat. Alright. I'm gonna walk over to Beckett's cell.
He seems very interested to see you approach. And he stands near the bars of his cell with both hands tucked very neatly behind his back.
I make sure I'm at least 3 feet away from the cell so he can't grab me. Did you hear that rumbling earlier?
Yes, I did indeed. I assumed it was just some guard's stomach, those greedy swine.
Yeah, no kidding. So a breakout just happened.
Ah, what a shame it did not make its way over here then.
Well, I'm wondering if the people who broke other people out knew about this doohickey that's making everyone in here feel really sick. Maybe that's why they didn't come over here.
That is entirely possible. However, to my understanding, this doohickey stops working at a certain extent. Otherwise, there would be one in every cell block.
How certain of an extent are we talking?
Well, if you know who is contained in the other cell blocks, then you know about the power level that exceeds what that is capable of handling.
Yeah, I wasn't much of a science girl. You're gonna have to explain it to me in a way I can understand.
Despite the device's enormous size, it's quite mild, and only those of us with what I would consider minor to mild mutations come under its effect.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Do you know of any possible reason why cell block B would be blown up? Who exactly was kept in there? We're told that general population villains were kept in A, and the very violent shapeshifters are kept in here.
B was something of a special containment facility. Prisoners there were kept in pods more than cells that were built to very specific specifications to contain their assigned person.
What kind of pods? Like, how would they contain them?
In various different ways, really. I've been in here for some time, but I do know that there was one particular man kept over there. He was nigh indestructible, so they kept him in a very special tube made of a durable material filled with acid so that his body would remain malleable at all times. I hear they fed him through a tube.
That's kind of barbaric.
I imagine that was the fate of everyone who stayed in B.
Charlie?
What?
She's gonna kind of like pull her to the side for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I feel like this place is way more questionable than it needs to be?
Well,
We're supposed to be holding these villains, but I don't know.
Oh, what happens in Wyoming stays in Wyoming. Beckett, did you hear any whisperings of a planned breakout happening today? Over the course of, say, maybe a month?
I am afraid if you're asking if I had any inclination this was going to happen, I am afraid not. The people contained here in this cell block are tortured in their own ways thanks to this lovely device. And in their mad ravings, they talk about escape constantly.
Maybe it was worth asking. I get the feeling none of the guards at this prison treat any of you all very well, do they?
Some of them try. I will give them at least that. But for the majority, no. They're quite awful.
Well, thank you for providing me some sort of insight. Yeah, and Charlie will turn on her heel and start walking away because she doesn't know what else to say. She'll pull Abigail to the side. Yeah, I have no fucking clue what's going on here.
Got me beat.
Well, seems like everyone in this cell block is accounted for. They weren't targeted for the breakout, so it was only cell block A and cell block B.
Let's head back to A and see if we can get that list of names.
Yeah. Carry on, everyone! And she's gonna head out of the cell block back to A. And just take a very deep breath when she's out of range of that freaking torture device.
Oh. For a second, I thought I was on my period.
God, I thought I was inhaling mint by the handful. Alright, let's go see what the boys have scrounged up.
Yeah, okay. And they'll go to...
Yeah.
Subblock A.
Subblock A.
As you are both crossing the thoroughfare again, at this point, there are like so many people here. There's a lot of helicopters and various different aircraft that have landed. They're taking guards. They're taking what appear to be prisoners out on stretchers. There is actively like a land vehicle what appears to be like some kind of like armored truck parked near A, which is very confusing because on your way here, it looked like this place could only be accessed by air. So how the truck got here? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
That's suspicious.
That's weird.
As you come around the front of the truck to go towards the entryway to A, you immediately like hear someone who was stood nearby the truck like yell out like, "You people, you're the people I'm looking for. Come here."
I mean, there's a lot of people y'all could be looking for around here right now.
You are approached quickly by a man who you guess is like in his 50s, very little hair at all, just like little stubs on top of his head, tiny little glasses perched on top of a very large nose, and this very like very thin chin. Like his cheeks come out from his face a solid inch on each side compared to his chin.
Oh my,
Like he has like the end of the pizza triangle shaped chin.
oh my god, it feels like you're describing Anton Ego from Ratatouille.
He's dressed in a fine suit with a red tie, and he has what appears to be two assistants that flank him on either side holding briefcases, and he adjusts his glasses.
Yeah,
I've been looking for you people all over. Do you know what's happening here?
buddy, we have about the same amount of knowledge of what's going on as you probably do.
We are trying our best to figure out exactly what is happening.
Yeah. Who are you exactly?
One of his assistants like immediately scoffs and he holds up his hand to them like, no, I've never seen them before. They're clearly new to this. I am the Secretary of Defense for the United States of America.
Oh, he's one of the big guys. Oh, shit.
My apologies.
It's fine. I'm sure you're both very on edge after the events that happened today. I just simply thought you'd have some kind of insight into what was happening. I have been sent here to form a official report that has to sit in front of the president and then in front of the UN.
Hey,
Mhm.
well, see, what happened was,
See, we were being given a tour.
yeah, that was
Of this
about
place.
a month late tour.
Yes, a month late, and we were going about our business, and the next thing we know, a giant riot happened.
Yeah, it's very coincidental that the giant riot happens right after we're told by the head of security here, that we should
To
stay
stay put.
put where we are, as she walked away, and then boom, riot happened.
We aren't
That
exactly
is awfully
quite,
suspicious.
we're not sure exactly what has caused this situation. However, we do know that we are on the job, we are on the case, we are exhausting all of our resources to find out who started this, what happened, and what the next plan is in their, scheming.
And we can confirm for now that all the inhabitants of Cell Block C are still in their cells.
Very good. We have that at least. Well, listen, I support you wholeheartedly. If there's anything you need, please let me know. If anyone gives you a hard time, if anyone tries to put up the classified information wall, you tell them that I have given you permission to access absolutely everything, no matter how secret it is. And in return, I trust that you people, being as legendary that you are, that you'll figure this out.
Is he being honest?
Thank you.
Roll wit.
11.
11 You, for the most part, get that he's being honest. There is some ulterior motive you can feel, right? He didn't give you permission, like, he didn't give you his resources essentially to aid in your investigation because he thinks you're a bunch of upstanding young people and he likes you a lot. There's something else.
Yeah,
It's other reason
politicians.
he wants you to figure this out for him.
Yeah, politicians. Yay. Good to know, sir. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We should probably go check on that manifesto now.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for your help and all that. We are going to continue our investigation now.
Very good. Again, if there's anything you need, I am going to be here right after this cheesecake break.
Could you possibly ship some dirty water hot dogs up here?
Charlie. Sorry, the
Hey,
chumming spider.
He said anything that we need. I don't work well on an empty stomach. Alright, so is the secretary having a cheesecake break, or is this Daisy saying he needs a cheesecake break?
The secretary turns to his assistant on his right, and the secretary uses their arms as a table and opens the briefcase, and there is a set of cutlery and a blueberry cheesecake inside. And he just there, again, using his secretary as a table, begins to eat the cheesecake.
Yeah, let's get back to the boys. And Charlie will turn to head into cell block A.
When they go into cell block A, Firebright's gonna go.
Did he seriously have a briefcase full of cheesecake?
Did he really put a cheesecake in a briefcase?
This man is a government official. I'm scared.
I don't know. I'm kind of questioning that part.
I'm terrified. This man helps run the government.
Now, where is that information?
Yeah, I need to know who was.
How long has it been?
Yeah.
Firebright's gonna ask Charlie.
Oh god.
How long has it been?
Oh god. So it was like a minute 25 seconds when he left. We went to go check cell block. That took maybe a good 10 to 15 minutes there. So walking back here, that interaction was another good 5 minutes. I'm sane. 20, 21, 23 minutes, 19 seconds. Where is that guy?
As you're making your way back into A, you first of all notice that the entryway is now clear. The doors are open. And not only is the medical team no longer present, the entire mountain of fried metal that used to be laid titanium is no longer present. And Jason and Drew are also just gone.
Okay,
you come into A, however, and are run down by the guard with the little goatee. He's waving a...
Took you long enough, and Charlie will take the file of the manifesto. File, book, whatever the fuck it is.
Did you mute by accident?
Oh no. We lost Daisy.
Oh no.
We lost Daisy to the void.
No. Daisy.
Daisy. Signs of life.
Daisy.
Daisy. Daisy. You good, bro?
Sorry, I'm always the last person up. Everyone else goes to bed before me.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, it's because I stay up until ridiculous times, but
Yeah. Same.
So yes, you are immediately accosted by the guard with the little pointy goatee, and he runs up to you with what appears to be like a very thick iPad, like 4 C's on that son of a gun.
Mhm.
Oof.
Thick.
Thick.
Gonna be thick.
And he really just like shoves it out to whoever is closest, like just nearly throws it at you.
Yoink!
I come back with the thing, and you're gone.
Well,
You wanted it.
in our defense, you took longer than a minute.
I took like 6 minutes, okay? You know?
That's still longer than a minute. You said you would be back in 1 minute. I counted.
Plus, while you were gone, we were checking out Cell Block C.
Yeah, to make sure none of your inmates had escaped from there. Luckily,
This
none
look
have.
very clearly this look crosses his face. Like he sort of doesn't care whether or not anyone has, but then you're like, and nobody has. And he's just like, okay, good. I wasn't going to ask, but good.
Jumping Spider, could you just take a look through there?
Yeah, flip through here. Let's see. Cell block A. Frostbite's on there. Yeah. Okay. Gax. Sandpaper Man. Didn't that guy die? I think that guy just died.
No, I think he escaped.
Oh shit, he escaped too. Okay. Ooh.
Although
God
I'm
help
not
us,
really concerned
Sandpaper
about
Man.
Yeah. All right. What was the name of Drew's supervillain? What was her name?
Oh yeah.
Is her name on Cell Block A's manifesto?
Her name, so the way the manifesto is set up, being electronic, it has everyone's name, their prisoner identification number, and then like their current status, quote unquote, which the statuses are contained and uncontained. A lot of A is rid up lead. Lead? Yes. Lead. This is
LEDs.
Flint, Michigan. There is a lot of lead.
It's been years and it's still too soon.
There's a lot of red on A. A lot of people broken out. Still some people contained in A. B is just gone. Its entirety. It's all lit up red. Drew's villain was in B and is out. As well as Midnighter was contained in B, and she is out.
Yeah, Charlie just goes, shit!
What'd you find?
She's out too.
You mean the owl bitch?
Yeah.
Shit. Your bitch,
Your
Drew's bitch, my bastard.
Do we know who Jason's is? I don't think he's ever told us.
I don't think so either.
If we're lucky, his is in Cell Block C.
Secretly pray.
Okay. Well, we're in the mountains, so how far can they get here? Get away from here.
I don't know, because I looked and they were gone. Now, everyone else would be so much easier to track down. However, Dr. Frostbite has an affinity with ice and snow and all things cold, so I feel like he has the advantage.
Yeah, because we're up in the mountains. Midnighter, she can hide anywhere. She's more of like kind of a predatory fighter. She hides in the shadows and then pounces. She's like
My villain
silent.
is all about presentation.
I'd much rather fight someone who has presentation than wondering if somebody's gonna freaking fly down and slit my throat.
Yeah, being shanked out of nowhere doesn't sound fun.
She works best in quiet environments, that's all I know. Mountains can get pretty quiet too. This is like a landslide or something.
maybe we can try and look at the remnants of cell block B and get some clues as to what caused it.
I can try. Is the guard still standing there as we're discussing this?
Yes.
Charlie's gonna just look up to him. What are you still doing here?
Guarding the place, I guess.
You don't have to stand next to us while you're doing it.
My deepest apologies, and he takes the most sarcastic step backwards.
A little further. Professionals are talking right now.
Let's just go check out cell block B.
Charlie will hold the manifesto still in her hands and start to head out. She is not giving this thing back. They lost their manifesto privileges.
You head out from A to where B used to be. Again, just like this gash taken out of the side of the mountain. Rubble has toppled down it. At this point now it is settled. Everything has stopped moving. It's just a lot of like crushed rock with metal caught between it, and there's nothing left.
Can we see if there's any kind of context clues around that gives us an idea of what happened?
Both of you roll wit.
Wait. 12. Oh,
well,
no.
Yeah.
It's pretty slim pickings. Pretty slim pickings. You begin like overturning rocks and looking at what little steel is left. Gosh, I don't even know what I could say happens to Charlie on a natural one without it just being ridiculous. So Charlie just doesn't see anything.
That's some rubble.
Rubble. Those are indeed my feet.
That's my feet. Those are my toes. Big and little footprints in the snow. These are my feet.
Charlie.
What? There's nothing.
Did I find anything?
You very similar, like, are turning over what's left of B. You do not find anything. It does click in for this very brief moment, however, that you don't find anything. Like, there is metal left behind from what used to be B, but these are massive, massive cell blocks, and there is maybe like a couple of pounds of metal laying in the rubble. So unless there's a few metric tons under a rock here somewhere somehow, there's a portion of B that's just missing.
This would seem nearly impossible to flatten this whole place out.
Do we know of anyone who'd be capable of doing this?
First thing that came to mind was Lady Titanium, but even she's not strong enough to make that happen.
No, her friend flamethrowers could not melt these steel beams. I'm from New York. Let me cope. Maybe it was someone who was contained in here. Somehow was able to break out of their pod and just level the place.
Could you look through the list and see if there's anyone that matches that description?
Let me see. And I'm gonna look through the manifesto for Cell Block B.
The manifesto for B has a bunch of different people you've never even heard of before, as well as your villain.
Mm-hmm.
Drew's villain, and you're pouring through them all, and you don't really see, you see a lot of like very dangerous people, but never on like a flatten a building sort of scale.
Does the manifesto
Maybe
like give any like information on what the abilities of these villains are? Or just
very
their
briefly.
very
It
briefly?
does not necessarily focus on what they can do,
Okay.
but more on any special proceedings to stop them from using what they can do to break out. There's a lot of like mention of magnets and the use of hydrofluoric acid and to keep Drew's villain contained, they keep her under a 8 million lumen lamp.
She must be super tan. One way to keep Midna contained is just loud sounds. I don't know, maybe that's something set up on her pod to make like a loud clanking sound. Really stirs up her senses. I'm not seeing anyone on here. Or at least not anyone I know of that could level an entire place. It's if it was anyone here, they would have an insane amount of power, and I'd highly doubt they would have them housed with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Is there anyone we know of who is not in prison that could do this?
That's a good question. Do we know of anybody who isn't in prison who could do something like this?
There is a single known villain who is not currently kept in a prison. That is Black Hole. But as far as any of you are aware, he is still kept in a coma in the Arctic.
But could he possibly do something like this?
Yes, most definitely. Black Hole is capable of, you all know this because he has attempted once. Oh boy, did the news talk about that for a long time. He's able to change his density at will to seemingly absolutely like no limit. Like if he concentrated hard enough, he could literally go black hole and just universe gone. Thanos done. Out of here.
Might need to check in with that Arctic facility.
Yeah.
It seems like something he would do, but he should still be under lock and key down there.
That's true. Should probably ask them, but I'm afraid that we are running out of options here. And we have villains running loose.
You can put a pen in finding out about Black Hole's situation. We need to try to catch these guys if we can.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need them getting too far.
Yeah.
How do we track them, though, in the mountains?
I could always get a bird's eye view.
It's true.
I'm just afraid that if all of those villains were working together, that's a lot of chaos running around.
Maybe they all see each other as a means to an end.
Maybe.
Using each other to get what they want and then disposing of each other. I mean, it's common to hear about heroes getting together. I've never heard of villains getting together.
Mostly because they're all, man for himself.
Yeah. Or woman for themselves.
Plus the fact that I'm pretty sure a lot of people wouldn't agree with Dr. Frostbite about plunging the world into another ice age.
Yeah. How did you meet him again?
Long story.
Yeah, we probably need to talk about it another time then.
Yeah.
I hope the guys are having much better luck than we are right now figuring out what to do with this situation.
I hope so too.
Cut to the guys, they're both just like staring at a monitor like we have no clue what we're doing.
Oh. Well, see if we can contact that Arctic facility.
Yeah, we can try and do that and then get search parties out into the mountains.
We're gonna go find a way to contact that Arctic facility where Black Hole is in.
Yeah.
See if he's still in that coma.
Yeah.
Please still be in that coma.
Please be in the coma, please. Ow, my neck.
So that would actually be quite the undertaking. Even if you have a cell phone on you, you don't happen to have the number to the top secret Arctic facility
Let's find
that essentially keeps an atom bomb under lock and key.
I'm gonna look for the Secretary of Defense.
Very smart.
There you go.
He is still outside. He is talking to what appears to be a medical team, and they're just breaking off from him when you run up. He's like
Hey.
wiping sweat from his forehead.
Do you have a good cheesecake break?
I may need another one. I've just been informed that the state of Wyoming is going to have to handle this medical bill, and I don't know how I'm going to tell the governor that.
Maybe that's why we should have universal health care instead. We need your help.
Yes, anything. I said anything you need.
We need to be put in contact with the Arctic facility that's holding Black Hole.
Now, I know I said everything was on the table for you to use, but before I greenlight that, can I ask why?
Because he is the only person capable of leveling an entire cell block.
And we need to see if he's still in that medically induced coma.
Because if he's out and about freeing supervillains right now, the entire world is at risk. Not just Wyoming.
I'll see if I can't get a satellite transmission set up as soon as possible.
Thank you. In the meantime, it'd probably be best to get search parties searching around the mountains, see if we can find any stragglers who have run off.
There are
There isn't
already
any-
a couple birds in the air. We haven't seen anybody yet, although there was... Where is it? Where's the photo? And he like gestures to one of his assistants who from their briefcase pulls this large photo and he hands it off, and it's this like horrible quality photo. Appears to be taken from an aircraft. You can sort of see the bottom of the ski of the helicopter, suggesting that the camera is mounted under it, and it sort of looks like the abominable snowman trekking across the snow in the mountains.
Is this supposed to be a practical joke?
No, one of our search parties caught this.
How long ago was this taken?
This photo arrived to me about 10 minutes ago.
Jumping Spider,
So,
could you look on that list and see if there's anybody that matches that description?
I'm gonna scroll through the manifesto.
For the abominable snowman.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is not on there because if he was, he would be a hero and he would serve snow cones.
So we're literally just been shown a picture of the fucking abominable snowman.
It's what it appears. Again, the quality of the photo is absolutely like poor, and it's in black and white.
Okay, do we know the exact coordinates of where this was taken?
Yes, it was taken going down the other side of the peak, like 2 mountains over.
Villains wouldn't have been able to make that trek that quickly.
Unless they are favorable in a snowy environment.
Is there a villain that can do any, like, teleportation bullshit? Can you look in there?
I'm gonna scroll through the list.
Yes, there is. There is someone who can teleport. It's very specific, though. They cannot teleport wherever they want. They swap places with people.
Don't think that could be them. Unless it's just some random hiker
If
standing
they were
right here right now.
if they were swapping places, then that means that either random civilians or other villains would be showing up around this area, which there are not.
Yeah.
Where the hell did they go?
I know, but it's maybe our closest one to pick up right now.
Yeah.
Yep, for a bit of flying.
Sure.
Alright. Let's see if we can go pick up this straggler. Follow his trail.
But we'll shoot up into the sky and take off.
Jumping spider will shoo shoo. Fucking Sam Raimi her way across the mountains.
The two of you take to the air, as it were, following the Spider-Man logic of just assuming there's always something that's just off screen to latch onto.
Every now and then I latch onto Firebite's foot just to gain some momentum.
The two of you very, very quickly leave the flattened proper that the prison had been built on and enter the more rugged mountain terrain. The snow is deeper. It's a good thing that you all, or that the two of you don't have to walk, because if the party members of Bames Bond is having a boke. If the members of your party who have like no powers of flight and had to walk were here, God, they would be miserable. You very quickly pass the first mountainous peak. You pass the second one and then like hit the lookout, like, okay, where's the abominable snowman? There is very clearly a track of something treading through the snow when the snow becomes very heavy. Gosh, it is moving. It is beyond the third peak. At this point, the Teton mountain range is getting smaller. The mountains are getting shorter as it sort of becomes less mountains and more just hilly terrain, and eventually expands out into just northern Wyoming. There is clearly a trail through the snow that you're able to follow all the way down the other side of the mountain range, and sort of climbing down the rocky hills, making their way to like actually Wyoming. There is a large humanoid figure that appears to have a guard's uniform draped over them and using it as a sort of coat.
I'm gonna slowly and silently lower myself, like at least 20 feet behind it.
I'm gonna very as silently as I can just land in a snowdrift. Poof. It's like landing on a pillow. If there is a snowdrift here. Otherwise, I'd probably just fall place first.
There's snow. It's quite snowy. Like I said, someone I know got mad at me. They were like, the Teton Mountains have snow.
I just
the two of you observe.
This is fantasy, but okay.
whatever it is just keeps moving. It's climbing down the hills, making its way towards Wyoming.
I can go for the legs.
That's the thing. I don't want to attack it unless I know it's a problem.
He's wearing he has a guard's uniform draped over his shoulders. He's probably a problem.
Stay behind him. I'm gonna go in front.
Okay.
Firebite will fly and land in front of him, at least 20 feet in front of him.
I'm gonna slowly creep my way. Spider crawl.
The creature is much more identifiable when you land in front of it and no longer has like the makeshift cloak obscuring it. And you, for the, I guess technically third time today, come face to face with the squid face of Gax.
Oh no! Oh fuck! We fucked up! We fucked up!
We fucked up so bad.
We are not high enough
Oh,
power level
God.
for this!
I need more hearts first.
This man has no health bar.
She's like, nope. She's gonna scuttle.
You just land and you're like, nope, and you shoot off.
Nope. Because if it's Gax, oh hell no. Oh no.
Charlie's just sitting there wondering what the fuck is going on.
Firebite's gonna like fly back to Charlie and just go, it's Gax. No.
Fuck.
Where are the others?
I don't know. Did he see you?
I landed in front of him.
Does Gax look like he's turning in this direction?
No, he pauses when Abigail lands in front of him. And she recognizes the situation and leaves again. And from behind, because you can see the fabric of whatever he's wearing, you physically see like a shrug, and then he just keeps walking.
It's like a Breath of the Wild when you approach a Lionel and you see the question mark raised above his head, and then you dive behind a rock and it's like, eh. Oh. Nope.
No,
not gonna deal with that today.
No.
Not today. Normally I am all about, facing headfirst into the fray and all of that, and I'm willing to sacrifice myself for the greater good, but not today. Not with him.
No. I have no clue where all the others would be. He's the only one we have pinned, and we can't confront him.
Is there a way that we can contact the facility and pinpoint him, for them, so that they know where he is?
I can't from here. I don't have that dank-ass Stark technology.
I wish I had that technology. Oh.
By the time we get back there, he's probably going to be down in Wyoming.
Well, at least we have a destination.
Yeah. Might as well just head back. I don't know where anyone else would be in these mountains. much as she likes owls, Midnight is more of an urban fighter. That's where you least expect them to be.
Guess we should head back.
Let's. And Charlie will start whoop, 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 through the trees, up the mountains, far over the misty mountains cold.
I want Charlie to roll speed.
Oh, shit. Hey! 23!
Nice.
Excellent. Always nice to pass a dex save.
Yeah.
As the two of you go to move, something like very briefly, like sets Charlie's senses off, and she's able to stop before actually launching herself forward.
Spider sense.
There is something buried in the snow, literally 3 feet in front of you.
You okay?
Charlie's gonna crouch down and start brushing the snow away from whatever this thing is.
You begin brushing the snow away, and very quickly it's unearthed, quote unquote, unsnow, question mark. A hand. It was very clearly like a hand curled up. It's not frozen, like it looks like it's starting to freeze, but there's also evidence of fire. Like the skin has been burned and the fingertips are black.
It's just a hand, not a hand attached to a person?
It is attached to it is attached to a person. If you want, you start like moving it away.
Yeah, I start digging.
I will fly down and help her out.
Do either of you wear gloves?
Charlie has to with her suit.
Firebite does.
Very good. There is this strange sound as you begin to unearth part of the body. And at first it's like, what? And you realize very soon as you're brushing snow off of what is clearly like a humanoid wearing the orange prison jumpsuit, the sound is coming from the body, because out here in the middle of nowhere, like literally so far from the prison, it's a silhouette. Half starting to freeze and half burnt is Sandpaper Man.
Well, he didn't get far.
He didn't make it.
You know, I was kind of actually rooting for him. I'm gonna search the body, see if there's any context clues.
Roll wit.
This is gonna go well.
Can I roll for that too?
Sure. Yes, please, actually.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's all coming together.
17.
That's a 3 total for me.
With another natural one, Charlie is apparently just a tad too taken aback that Sandpaper Man bit the dust.
Man, I was betting my money on him.
Poor Sandpaper Man.
Yeah. Most useless supervillain of all, but will forever be in our hearts.
With a 17, however, there is a context clue. I guess it's sort of appropriate that Abigail finds it being the fire-based person. Whatever happened to Sandpaper Man's body is very strange because he's only starting to like freeze due to the elements.
Mm-hmm.
He was also like very clearly already dead before he began to freeze. So this weird like horrified pose he's stuck in isn't a result of freezing. Whatever burnt him in the way that he is burnt did this to him. And it's very, very hard to put into words but his skin still radiates this faint bit of heat that is awfully reminiscent to the fateful day.
The fateful day.
Yes, the
Meanwhile,
day that Abigail Burns became Abigail Burns with a U instead of an E.
oh damn!
Oh shit, is this like the same kind of like radiation bullshit that made me me?
It would appear so, and unfortunately, it did not work out for him. He is burnt, and it's still giving off this horrid heat because it's radiation burns, and that is why he is curled up in pain the way he is, because radiation sickness sucks, and I legitimately would not wish it on anybody.
Yeah. Abigail's just gonna go, oh shit.
What?
He Sparky, right? Fiery?
Yeah. Yeah, I can barely touch this
Radiation. Radiation, right? Fiery radiation, but it didn't work out for him.
guy. Oh shit.
He's bearing the same stuff that made me the way I am.
How did you get in contact with that stuff, though? If you just broke
no
out of
idea.
prison.
Dr. Frostbite is probably the best answer to that, because to make a long story short, he and I were both caught in the same laboratory when it burned down. But he got the icy part of it.
So do we have to go find him now? How do we find him?
I have no clue. He could be anywhere on these mountains.
I don't know, maybe you guys have some weird sort of telepathic link shit? I don't know. Because you're both
This
caught in
isn't
the
the
same...
Force. We don't have the
There could be
Force.
a dyad in the radiation. I don't know.
Oh my god. Not like that.
I know, I mean, sometimes when I come into contact with other people who were bitten by radioactive spiders like me, I get a little tingle in my head. And I know what they are. Have you ever felt that around him?
Kind of, but not in the way that you're thinking.
What way are you talking about?
I don't want to talk about it.
No, let's. You brought it up.
No, my mouth is shut.
Okay, so will you feel some sort of tingle? Do you think you'd probably feel it if he's nearby? Whatever freaky shit that you're into?
Not like that.
Hey, this is the most context I'm getting from it, okay?
Oh. Okay. The best way that I can describe it. It's like if we're in the same room together, it's like a magnet. You know how we have a positive and negative charge
Yeah.
that draws you closer to each other?
Yeah.
It's like that, but I have to be in a certain range.
Well, we can keep searching the entire mountains until you feel that magnetic attraction.
Look at me, I'm becoming a living radar.
Hey, you have a better chance of finding him than I have. Hell, I can almost never find my villain.
Can we see anything else out here from where we are?
Yeah.
Both of you roll wit, and I'm gonna say roll with advantage because they aren't exactly hiding.
Natural 20.
17.
With a natural 20, Charlie very clearly like tilts her head a certain way and catches the glimpse of a silhouette that is clearly flying up in the air, painted against the sun, and because of the position of the sun, they're just a dark shadow. And we're gonna take just a quick little break.
Yay!
Oh.
I can't get Chrome to work, so I can't pull up Stream Manager to run an ad break. And Slobs doesn't have that option. Get your shit together, Slobs. I'll go get me some fudge rounds. Yay!
I'm gonna get myself a blueberry muffin.
Got my fudge rounds and my avocado.
Avocado!
Thanks! Ah. Alright. For anyone who's in chat right now, I'm free to talk for a little bit. Just quick signs of life in the chat.
It's been nice. I was a little nervous because I've never actually just DM'd for 2 people.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's very letting 2 specific people shine because if they didn't, we'd just sit here in silence and it'd be really weird.
Yeah. It's just a little different since it's just 2 people. We don't have other people to help weigh in their own decisions and thoughts on this. So I'll admit, it's been like a little hard, like, okay, what's the next step that we should take? Where should we go? Because our characters have so much limited knowledge.
Yes.
But I think we're doing okay.
It's going okay. I'm also probably not gonna run us to like our normal
Yeah, that's fine.
time.
That's fine. Get a good 2.5
What?
hours. What?
Yes.
We can get like a good 2.5 hours in, probably.
It's just
So this is gonna be a campaign, right? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, here's the thing, all right? Brutal honesty. I have no problem saying this on stream because this is literally the pitch I gave to Jam. Is Outer Rim Misfits, the way Jam wants it, is that it will only play if absolutely everyone is capable of making it. Not only does like life stuff happen, like everyone has jobs, everyone has commitments and stuff like that. Jam has also said to me that like if there was like ever a time where like a buddy asked to hang out or something and I wanted to do that, he said that I could just go and do that and he wouldn't be mad and he'd cancel just because I wanted to hang out with somebody. So my pitch to him when I suggested this was like, okay, so like I want to do something because I am expected to have my Wednesday reserved, but you have literally told me that we will cancel if I have something else if I want to do. And so, you know, I wanted to do something else so that we can actually play, since looking at it purely, now we've been doing really good. We have a lot of ORM locked in. Statistically, and now again, we haven't been obeying the statistics at all, but statistically, we would never play Outer Rim Misfits.
Yeah.
So
Which I don't want that to happen because I love Outer Rim Misfits.
Yeah.
I don't want to compete in any way. It's A, because it'd make Jam feel bad, and also I DM 2 games a week. I'm not gonna take a consistent third. I would die.
Yeah.
I like what we have going though. Like if there's a night where one of us can't make it, or if JM needs a breather from DMing, if he needs like a mental health day, we can bring this out and play that.
Yes. So that was the whole thing. I went to him and I was like, hey, so ORM actually has like a really high chance of canceling. So can I do a side thing?
Yeah.
And it's really fun.
Yeah, I'm loving this. I just need to actually flesh out my character's backstory more.
See,
It's fine.
I've come up with so much for my character and so many different story arcs because, you know, different dimensions and bullshit that I'm like,
yeah.
which one am I on?
Yeah. You've already MC Universe that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's the timeline where Sandpaper Man dies.
I mean, there's a timeline where... Is there a timeline where Sandpaper Man is our ally?
I was literally about to say that originally after last week when JM canonized Sandpaper Man. I was like, yeah, Sandpaper Man, he is a thing. Originally, I was going to try and come up with some silly reason. Like, originally, when you found Sandpaper Man, he was going to be like, they ditched me, those bunch of losers. I'm a superhero now.
That's a huge character arc right there.
In my like huge fit of depression on Monday, though, I changed my notes and decided he had to die.
Yeah.
Long live Sandpaper Man.
Long live Sandpaper Man.
Long live Sandpaper
May he rest
Man.
in peace.
In a third alternate timeline, he was behind it. He was the big villain.
Oh no! Oh no!
Why do I see it though? Why do I see that he's the one who caused this breakout, but the breakout led to his demise?
Failed by his own hubris. God help us, Sandpaper Man.
Just like the Jedi Order.
Ooh.
Oof. Oof.
Ouch.
Tell me I am wrong. That's my controversial Star Wars opinion.
I mean, Boz's whole character is based on the concept that from the side of the Separatists, the Jedi sort of suck. They conscripted children, and their government became the Empire, and oh my god.
Yeah. Don't you hate it when the bad guy starts making sense? Like Zemo. But that's a whole nother can of worms to unpack, and we don't have time for all that.
Yeah.
God, I'm so excited for Friday to see the finale for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Same.
We get to see Sam in the Captain America suit. Because I'm pretty sure that's what we're gonna see.
I'm hoping. That's what I was
hoping.
guessing.
Oh, this means we get so many new Captain America movies as well. Yeah.
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 I'm just like, ee.
I do not have a webcam. I cannot outflex everybody here.
You can just send a selfie to the group later. Like, I'm flexing y'all now.
Flexing y'all now. I've been doing a lot of stuff on the trying to do cardio.
Yeah.
Because I am very strong. I have done a lot of weights. I am very strong.
Yeah.
PR is 210.
I'm trying.
I just canceled my gym membership because I don't go to the gym.
Respectable.
Yeah,
But the light hit me. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I went and I canceled my membership yesterday, and I straight up told them, like, I didn't have any problems with the gym. I love the gym. It's just I cannot afford it right now. If there ever comes a time that I can afford it and I can go back, I definitely will. It's just I don't have the time and I can't afford it.
Which is understandable.
But continue, Daisy.
I was just gonna say, like I said, I've like always focused on weights. Like I said, I'm very strong. Very strong.
Yeah.
But at some point last week, like the sun came in through the window and hit me. And I realized, gosh, like the silhouette it cast on the wall, I was like, gosh, I look like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Me every time I look in a mirror.
So I've been doing other stuff. Like, I was content for a very long time, just being strong.
Yeah.
But I'm just sort of unhappy now. So I'm just doing other stuff.
Yeah.
It's fine. I almost can run a mile in 20 minutes.
That's not bad, actually.
It's been really, it's been good. I
Yeah.
want to say the other day it was 24 minutes.
That's not bad. And if anyone in my comments says that no, that's a bad time, go fuck yourself. Everybody
I mean,
runs at their own
I'm new
pace.
to the whole trying to run thing, and also anyone who's like, no, that's bad. I can literally flex and break your neck. That's not an exaggeration.
It is not. Someone who used to try to run 2 miles once a week in college. Running is hard. Running is not easy. You have to learn how to pattern your breath. Make sure you breathe in at the right time. All that. Make sure you're not breathing too quickly or too slowly. Running's hard.
Running is hard. Technically, you're not like supposed to run. Like some elitist out there would be like, it damages your joints.
They got a point though.
Yes, it does. Do I care at the current moment? No.
That's fair. It is.
It's my body,
It's my body and I need it now.
and I need it now.
It's my body and I need it now.
So, anyway, if the two of you are ready, because I had said we're probably not going to run as late as normal due to limited attendance,
Yeah.
we can get back into things and wrap up our...
I'm looking at the
I was
sky.
literally about to say morning, but it is the night.
I mean, it's morning somewhere in the world.
I guess it's technically morning here because it's 1 a.m.
Oh my god, dude. You need to go to bed after this.
Yes, I always do just like yeet myself straight into bed.
Yeah. Yeet!
It's something I think about for some weird reason when we're sat here doing Outer Rim Misfits, which goes to like 2:30 my time. I've sat here like, y'all don't even understand. Only me and Mitch understand. We're in the next day. We're from the future.
Yeah. You're from the future. Why couldn't you warn us about these world-changing events?
It's because I still don't believe they happened.
That's fair.
But anyhow,
The sky.
looking up at the sky, seeing the silhouette of someone clearly flying there between you and the sun. It's probably like the midday sun at this point now as well. I have no idea when you arrived. I'm going to say it was morning and now it's like noon because that's
Yeah.
convenient for my narrative.
Yeah. Do I recognize this silhouette?
I was going to, with your natural 20, you recognize the silhouette as the Vanguard, who is this universe's version of Superman, who has been missing for 3 years.
Holy shit.
I would know who that is, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
You all would have met them at
Awesome.
some point. They functioned as like the League, quote unquote, head or leader, much to Batman's dismay.
Holy
Oh,
shit. It's
shit.
him. Hey! Hey! Hello? We're down
Abigail will
here.
fly up and meet like eye to eye, not face to face, but like where they were eye to eye.
I need Charlie to roll speed. I need Abigail to roll speed with disadvantage.
Oh no.
That's a 9.
Oh. 10.
still did better than me.
There is a single red glint that maybe because Abigail is moving towards him, she recognizes a little bit faster than Charlie does. However, both of you get caught by a laser eyes attack.
Oh god!
Oh shit!
It catches Abigail like sort of in the side and sends her plummeting back to the earth. Charlie's like spider senses go off.
A little
and
too late.
It's too late. They travel faster than Charlie can dodge in this current moment, and it strikes her as well, sort of between the shoulder and the collarbone.
Ow!
The smell of burnt polyester is in the air.
Aw.
I just got this suit!
You are both going to take... Just give me a minute to roll all this.
Oh god.
Oh.
Gosh, so close. So close. Give it to me. 67 points of damage.
Ow. Motherfucker.
I'm still
And
in the
he
200s.
speeds off. There is like this boom as he breaks the sound barrier. I'm sure there's someone out there who can correct me on how fast Superman can go.
Dick!
Ow. What was that for?
Can't he clearly see we're not the bad guys?
He's been missing for 3 years. Where has he been?
Wouldn't he?
And my question is, did he cause that? He points to Sandpaper Man.
I don't know. I wondered how he didn't recognize us. We met him before he went missing.
Something doesn't seem right.
None of this seems right.
Wait a minute. Do I know? Could he level a building?
Hell yeah. Absolutely. He wouldn't even break a sweat doing it.
Charlie?
What?
I think we found who decimated cell block B.
Why would he do that, though?
Can you check that list? See if there's anyone with, I don't know, hypnosis?
Let me see. Let me make sure he didn't shoot it. I'm gonna scroll through the list.
It's a very easy find because you remember back that when you had entered the prison, Crystal told you not to make prolonged eye contact with anyone in cell block A. And Drew had asked, well, how much eye contact is too much? And she said, however long it takes for them to mind control you. So yeah, there are 2 people who were in A that have mind control powers. One of them is, just stare-based, prolonged eye contact. The other is they have to physically touch you. They are both out.
Got 2 mind fuckers out.
Either one of them could have caused that. Fuck.
We need to get back to the prison. Let the secretary know what's going on now.
I will never complain that that spaceship is too boring ever again.
I mean, they could add a dirty water hot dog machine to it, but yeah, I won't complain ever again either. Hey, I'm a simple girl with simple needs, okay?
I see dirty hot dogs, I press like.
I press like. I see dirty water hot dogs and I eat them.
It's just. There's nothing that we can do.
It's not just the two of us.
We have all of the biggest villains that have been released. Vanguard is hypnotized or something, has probably most likely caused all of that damage. There's nothing that we can do anymore. I don't think there's any more information we can gather except to just try and find some villain out there.
Well, you know where one is and where he's heading. We can't face him, but we know where he is. That's a start.
That is a start.
As long as we can keep our eyes on him, we have some sort of control over the situation.
That's fair.
Now we need to head back. Let Secretary of Defense know that Vanguard has gone rogue.
Yep.
Maybe on the way, see if we can find any other bodies like Sandpaper Man here.
Yeah, alright. And the Firebite will start flying. And start
Jumping Spider will start swinging behind and actively keeping an eye out.
As you begin your way back, you do not notice anything. Not really. It's a little strange because on your way back, you swear things are different. Like when you had come down this way, there had been like large snowdrifts piled up against certain peaks of the mountains, but now some of them are missing. So it looks like something has passed through this way, but they have left no discernible tracks or markings, or the snow is just disturbed. So you make it back to the actual prison proper, which at this point now it looks like they are attempting to clean up. They are like pulling metal from the wreckage of cell block B and trying to clean some of the mountain that has exploded onto the property.
I want to find the secretary as soon as we get there.
The secretary is still over by his truck. The back of the truck has open. He has like this little laptop set up, has a speaker plugged into it, and one of his assistants is stood nearby with like a radio antenna that has a wire running to the laptop, and they're holding it over their head.
Radio.
He seems very, very happy to see the two of you arrive. His big smile comes across his face. He claps his hands together. Good, you're both back. I managed to get that connection you wanted.
That's good, but let's keep the connection going and check in, but black hole may not be our problem.
I say what?
Yeah, we've made a startling discovery, to say the least. Vanguard has shown himself and did a pretty nasty hit.
He tried to kill us.
And flew off. He is the only one that we know of out of all the lists that we have who could have leveled cell block B without even trying.
And right now he's at top of our list of suspects since he has not been locked up for the past 3 years. He's been AWOL. It would still be smart to check in with the Arctic base, though. Make sure Black Hole is still in his coma.
Well, yeah, we have the connection open here to the Arctic. I'm sorry. Wow, that's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Gosh, how I can't tell the UN that. If I tell the UN that, then all the nuts on the internet who say you all need electroshock collars, technically they're proven right.
That sounds both creepy and kinky at the same time. I think the UN's gonna find out either way. Unfortunately. If Vanguard decides that he wants to level a whole town in Wyoming, it's gonna make the news.
Oh, also, Gax is heading in the direction of Wyoming.
Yeah.
That abominable snowman thing? Yeah, that was him.
Yeah, that was Cthulhu face there.
Should I be worried about that?
I would keep eyes open everywhere for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's very dangerous. We weren't able to approach him, but he didn't see us as a threat at the time. He didn't interact with us, but I would still keep eyes out for him. Right now, I think our biggest threat is Vanguard, as well as all the other villains who have escaped. But our biggest threat is definitely Vanguard. I have no idea what's caused him to go rogue. He could have been mind controlled by somebody here. He could have decided, fuck humanity.
Let's hope it's not that last one.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Yeah.
Well, God, listen, this is Dire Straits, isn't it? I'm not supposed to give you this. I technically don't have clearance, but it looks like you could really use it. And from his lapel, he pulls out what looks like a USB and hands it off.
What's this for?
It should give your fancy space station thing access to a lot of top secret information that may help in your investigation, possibly.
Secretary, you've been holding out on us all these years?
It's a very traumatic. I don't want to talk about it. All right.
That's fair. We'll see what we can do with this. Charlie's gonna pocket the USB. Hopefully our ship's still flyable.
Yeah.
Well, let's quickly check in with Arctic Base. Just make sure everything's under control down there. If it's under control, then we know for sure that Vanguard is our problem. Let's do a whole little Zoom call with Arctic Base.
Zoom call within a Zoom call.
Zoom call within a Zoom call. Zoomception.
The secretary stands out of the way and lets you at the laptop. The video quality is very poor. But sat in front of a screen, what appears to be a small, like, office. Office is the word I'm going to choose to use. You think you see a filing cabinet. Other than that, you see a yellow wall, a chair, and sat in that chair is an older woman. Appears to be, if not late 60s, early 70s. Dark gray hair that is pulled back into a bun, and this like nasty scar that runs from her right temple down over her right eye, just under her right nostril.
What time of day is it?
At this point, it's like 1 p.m. Let me look up what time that would be in the Arctic.
Firebite will just say, good afternoon. Are you hanging in there all right?
Hanging in there? What's you mean?
We just had a
Everything is fine here.
So Blackout's still in his coma?
Yes, of course.
Black
Why
hole,
would he not be?
Blackout. I forget what the fuck his name is. Because here's the deal. There's been a massive breakout at the prison up here in Wyoming. And we had reason
We just
to
wanted to
believe...
make sure that he was still in his coma.
It's unfortunate to hear. Well, mostly unfortunate. Yes, my patient is currently still under heavy security.
What do you mean mostly unfortunate?
I am not entirely at liberty to discuss. However, I believe I can tell you that the failure at the silly prison in Wyoming means the next best thing will surely get the approval.
This is business opportunity for... Okay. Yeah, make sure your guy stays under lock and key, please. We don't need another megaton nuke running around.
Yeah.
Of course. We are very skilled and very capable here.
I would hope so.
Thank you. We won't take up any more of your time.
Mm-hmm.
Good, my time is very precious, and she's gone.
Bitch.
Alright.
Alright, so he's accounted for.
That's good. So we're looking at Vanguard.
Top suspect. Is there any guards still around? I want to start questioning. Again.
There is a guard nearby. He's like sort of sat on a collapsed gurney, having like a leg wound looked at.
I'm gonna walk over to him. You doing all right?
Yeah, this is and the medic is like, tell them. I panicked when the breakout happened. I shot myself in the leg.
They seriously need more hours to train before being certified as prison guards or police in this country. I just have a couple of questions to ask you.
Yeah, sure.
Has a hero by the name of Vanguard visited the prison recently? We know he has gone AWOL for the last 3 years, but has he visited in the past week or so?
No, I'd know if he visited. My son is a big fan, has the action figures and stuff. I would have gotten a selfie with him so fast if he was here.
Question, is Vanguard known to have a secret identity?
Yes, it's a very like infamous event, and again, very Superman, where he did at some point have a secret identity, but it was known to the world when someone tried to mug him in Times Square and shot a gun, and it ricocheted off of his chest, and all of a sudden, everyone in Times Square knew who he was.
He didn't have any. That's the reason he went missing for 3 years. He didn't have any time in that time to probably come up with a new secret identity.
It was the most like fluke accident.
It's like,
Or
wow,
was
that
it?
was a
Do, do, do,
coincidence.
do, 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 do.
I don't know, maybe he visited on one of your off-duty days.
The guard gives you this look.
I'm not meaning to be offensive at all, man. I'm just trying to figure out if he has been here recently.
Oh no offense. It's just that's the off-duty days. That's funny.
You guys don't ever get any like off-duty days? Get to go home, visit the family, get a little vacation.
There is this like contract they make you sign when you sign up to do this. You know, like says like, you know, understand that you're gonna have to pass background checks. You're dealing with some really dangerous criminal type people. I sort of stopped reading that halfway through. Totally missed at the bottom that you get 6 vacation days a year.
Yeah, that's why you always read the terms and conditions.
It was just really boring. All right, like I read most of it.
Yeah, I understand that, but okay. So no, you've not seen him here recently, ever.
I have never seen him, no. Although I have taken 2 of my vacation days this year.
That's good to hear. Reason I asked that is because he just tried to kill me in Firebite. He's in the area, or he was. We have reason to believe that he caused that mass outbreak. And the reason I asked if he was here recently is because your former head of security here, Crystal Bitchface, let us know that there are villains here who know mind control. And that has me very concerned if Vanguard is under some sort of hypnosis or something.
Gosh, I certainly hope so. That'd be awfully heartbreaking.
Yeah, it'd be really awfully heartbreaking if the world's most beloved superhero decided to just fuck humanity.
At this point, the medic who is stitching up the guard's leg like finishes and like wipes himself off. And having heard all of that is like walking off. He's like, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to Fiji in case the world blows up.
Alright, hope you heal up quickly. Thank you for answering our questions. And Jumping Spider will begin to walk off again. Cursing under her breath.
Getting hungry.
I am too. I'd kill for a dirty water hot dog right now. What is the motive? If Vanguard has not been seen by the prison staff here, why would he cause a breakout? If he wasn't mind controlled.
How long have those hypno guys been here?
Let me check. I'm gonna look through the manifesto, see the how long that they've been interned here.
The one that you have to look at to be hypnotized has been here for just a little over a year.
Okay.
The one that has to touch you has, or was here since they're both out, for 2 months.
Alright. Creepy stare guy has been here for over a year. Creepy touchy-feely guy, only for about 2 months. It's a possibility that either one of them maybe... I get the...
Because if Vanguard has been missing for 3 years, and these guys have been in prison for a year, 2 months, it's a possibility that
one of them's been in contact with him outside.
Yes. So
My
Vanguard wouldn't be here. He'd be out there.
My bet would be on creepy touchy-feely guy. Shortest amount of time. It's only been here a couple months. Probably
That's true.
could have had a run-in with Vanguard before getting locked up.
That is true. And especially if Vanguard has been gone for 3 years, he could have been hypnotized this entire time and we didn't know it.
It's true. It's a long time to be hypnotized, though. At least a year.
Mm-hmm.
And if it has been that long, then this has been planned out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, it is such a coincidence that this is all happening the day we finally get called down to do this tour.
Of course.
I hate to say it. I feel like it's an inside job.
No, of course it would be some kind of inside job. Of course it would be some kind of big scheme, getting the biggest, baddest villains into one prison, hypnotizing one of the greatest heroes, and then releasing all of those villains at once.
Setting us up to be cannon fodder.
So the question is, who is the brains behind it?
I don't know. Obviously not Mr. Brain. He's back in his little hamster wheel.
This just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
I don't know, maybe when the boys get back they'll have some more insight for us to look at. I don't know what they come across.
Let's hope they find something good.
Yeah.
For now, I'm not sure there's anything else that we can do here.
Honestly, me either.
Might as well rest and
Yes, my shoulder.
meet up with the guys later.
My shoulder really hurts.
Yep. My side hurts.
Yeah. Hey, on the bright side, it's instantly cauterized, I guess.
Yeah.
Ow.
Even though it burns, at least I'm kind of used to the feeling.
How do you ever get used to that?
I don't know. But then again, this is like laser burns and not exactly fire burns.
It's true.
So that's gonna have a different sting.
It's very true. I mean, I wouldn't really know because I'm not fire or laser adept. I just got bit by a spider.
Yeah. I got caught in a burning building and then burned to death and then came back to life. That was fun.
You and I have completely different origin stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
I kind of like yours better.
I mean, I was in bed sick for a whole day. I don't think you really would have liked it. Thought I was gonna die.
I mean, I did.
You already died.
Yeah.
Came back. You're basically Fire Jesus.
I hate how you're right.
I mean, did you like die and then 24 hours you came back, or did you like wait the whole 2 days before being resurrected? Because if you waited the whole 2 days, then
3 days.
3 days.
3 days. But no, I got caught in the fire. It burned down. I died, and then once the building stopped burning and I was covered in ash is when I woke up. and it felt like my lungs were on fire.
I mean, you were in a literal fire, though.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder how Drew got his powers. I don't know, maybe stuck his pinky inside a socket? I mean, I could be right.
I mean, you could be right.
I could be right. As far as I know, Jason's just really smart.
Jason's really smart.
But I have a feeling he probably has this all figured out before we do.
Probably does.
Probably does. I mean, with all the friggin' pop culture references he makes.
Right?
I got nothing else.
Me neither.
Yeah.
They're gonna go try and find
Yeah.
some food or something.
Try and find some food, maybe some medical assistance.
Two of you walk off to attempt to find food amongst the chaos that is everything that is unfolding here.
We deserve a lunch
And
break.
yeah, that's everything sinks into grayscale and the words "to be continued" slide across the screen.
Yay! No, it's like that. It's like something bad's about to happen that says "to be continued."
That
That was fun.
was fun. Ah,
Man, the guys missed out on so much.
right?
We got shot.
Again, a very cruel way. I wish I had gotten like another cameo, and it's just like, well,
That'd been fun.
as a thanks y'all for joining me this
Yeah.
evening.
Of course.
I've been so excited about it.
As fun as it's been, gosh, I can't wait for Ashford Misfits next
Oh
week.
my god, I'm so looking forward to next week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because last we left off, we were at that sandcrawler, right? We
We did
camped out.
a long rest.
We did a long rest, and then that was it. We're crossing the Dune Sea. The jungle and wastes are not to be traveled lightly. Okie dokie. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. I have a VOD uploaded this weekend. Daisy, you need to go to bed. Love you dearly,
Yes.
but you need to go to bed.
Yes, I.
Alrighty. Alrighty, everybody.
Y'all have a good night.
Yeah. Everybody who tuned in tonight, thank you so much for watching us. This has been the Superhero One Shot Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. If in the future we do have to postpone Outer Rim Misfits again, we will be back with this one shot to continue the story. Other than that, Outer Rim Misfits should be back to its regular schedule next Wednesday, so be sure to tune in then. Tomorrow is Tales of Yggdrasil at mnchief._ on Twitch, so make sure to tune in for that campaign. And then this Friday, as always, is GKC. This will be our last GKC session for at least a month, since our DM Icarus is going to be traveling down south to visit his partner. So, thank you all again for watching, and we will see you all in the next stream. Bye!